just take a moment to allow your eyes to close. And with your eyes closed, you can just listen along to me in the background. And while you listen along to me in the background, I don't know whether you'll drift asleep deeper to the sound of my voice or to the spaces between my words. And as you listen along to me telling this deep sleep experience, you can just have a sense of lying in a hammock in a garden, and that hammock can just gently sway between two trees. And as that hammock gently sways, so the branches in the trees above can move with the breeze, and as they move with the breeze, the light of the sun shining down through the leaves can dance and twinkle and sparkle before your eyes. And while that light dances before your eyes, you can allow your eyes to close. And with your eyes closed, you can notice the light patches passing backwards and forwards across your eyelids of that twinkling light through the leaves. You can hear that breeze, and you can feel the gentle rocking side to side of that hammock, rocking you gently and relaxed to sleep. And as you rock so gently and calmly asleep, you begin to drift inside. You begin to drift into a dream. And you find yourself walking through the softest grass, and everything around you are shades of dark blue, like you're walking through a field of soft grass at night time, just lit by moonlight. And that grass is so soft that if you reach down and touch it with your fingertips, it feels almost like feathers brushing against your feet, your lower legs. And touching it with your fingertips, it can feel just like feathers running through your fingers, tickling through the insides of your fingers. And you can see the way the silver light of the moon dances and passes across the grass as it blows almost in waves with the breeze, almost like silver waves passing silently across the field, and the slight rustling in the distance of the leaves in the trees. And you can see off in the distance a twinkling lake, noticing the way that silvery moonlight dances and sparkles like thousands of diamonds on the surface of the lake. And as you walk towards that lake, so you drift deeper and deeper asleep. And I don't know whether you relax deeper asleep with each footstep you take, or the spaces between each footstep, as you find drifting asleep easier and more effortless walking down to that lake. And as you reach the lake, you can hear the sloshing of the water on the shore, of those small waves just gently lapping there. You can smell that fresh, watery air. And you can climb into a rowboat. The sound of lifting the oars out of the rowboat, pushing away from the shore. And then the feeling of pushing the oars through the water as you travel across the lake. And you push that water and you can hear that sound of the oars passing through the water, the dripping of the water off the oars as you pull them back, and the splosh as they go back down into the water, the feeling of pushing that water away, and the boat moving and travelling across the lake. You can see the twinkling stars overhead, the moon brightly in the sky, and noticing how still everything is here, with just that gentle lapping of those small and subtle waves. Then you travel across the lake. On the far side of the lake, you climb out of the boat and you walk across a slight gravelly area away from the lake, and then across some hardened mud, and you begin to walk into some woodland. And you can walk through that woodland, hearing those rustling leaves overhead, feeling the bark of the trees under your fingertips as you work your way around trees, under the branches. And you can see a light on in a cabin in these woods. And so you head towards that cabin. When you arrive at the cabin, you look through the window and you can see somebody sat rocking in a chair in front of a comfortable fire, and that glow of the fire dancing around the room. You can see a cat resting on a rug in front of the fire, sprawled out, looking so peaceful, so comfortable. And you tap gently on the door. The person comes to the door. They tell you they've been expecting you, and they invite you in. And you walk in, they close the door behind you. They gesture for you to sit down in the other seat by the fire. You walk over to that seat. You sit down deeply in the seat. And you relax back into that seat so deeply, feeling almost like this was such a comfortable seat to sit in. Surprisingly comfortable to sit in. And the cat just glances up at you before lowering its head again, closing its eyes, and continuing to drift and dream. And the cat looks so relaxed on the rug that it almost looks like it's melting into the rug, becoming one with the rug. And the person tells you that you're here to go on a journey inside your mind, a journey of discovering how to relax deeply and profoundly and connect with the world around you, almost like becoming one with the world around you. And that you didn't know you were going to be here, but they knew. They've been expecting you. And that their role is to guide you through an experience. And you wonder what the experience will be. And they lean forward in their chair. They look at you with intent. And they say, just take a moment to close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, you can listen to the sound of my voice. You can hear the sound of that crackling fire in the background, the purring sound of the cat. You can notice that dancing light from the fire. As you continue to drift deeper inside your mind. And while you continue to drift deeper inside your mind, I'd like you just to have a sense of discovering yourself at the top of 10 steps down to the most beautiful beach. And you can see down there that water lapping on the shore. You can see the sun setting in the distance. You can notice the colours of the sky. And you can take your time to walk down to that beach. And as you walk down to that beach, I'll count down from 10 to 1. And on the count of 1, you can find yourself standing in that soft sand on the shore. And you can notice what that sand feels like under your feet. But don't find yourself standing on that soft sand until you reach the bottom of the steps. And you can reach the bottom of the steps when I've counted down from 10. And you understand. And you begin to follow along. As they count 10, 9, going deeper and deeper, 8, deeper and deeper, 7, 6, 5, and as the counting continues, you find yourself drifting deeper into the experience. You find yourself more absorbed in the beach. 4, 3, 2, 1. And on the count of 1, you find yourself on the beach. And you walk your way along that beach. You walk along the edge between the water and the shore, those waves lapping over your feet, and then pulling back out past your feet again out to sea, before rolling in again, lapping over your feet again, each time just gently tickling your feet, almost like you're getting the most comfortable foot massage from the ocean, with the sand travelling backwards and forwards over your feet, through your toes. As you relax and drift even deeper. And while you walk along, they tell you that they want you to walk to the cave. And you look around and you see a cave a little way along the cliff. And so you begin to walk to that cave. And as you approach the cave, so you notice a slight orange glow. You realize there's a small campfire set up in that cave. And as you get even nearer, you can see that person sitting cross-legged near the campfire. And you walk into the cave. They tell you to sit down comfortably. You sit down, cross your legs. You can hear the spitting, crackling fire. They tell you to close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, they tell you just to notice the way the light dances around in front of your closed eyelids. And as you notice that light dancing around, they're just going to pass their hand down in front of your eyes 3 times. And on the 3rd time, you can drift and float even deeper asleep. And they say that with each pass, just say to yourself, when I feel tired and want to fall asleep, then I'll naturally just drift asleep. And they pass their hand over your eyes, almost giving you a feeling like going down in a lift. And they say 3. And you say to yourself, when I feel tired and want to fall asleep, then I'll naturally just drift asleep. And then they pass their hands in front of your face again, 2. And you notice your shoulders beginning to slump, your facial muscles beginning to relax, your body beginning to relax, and you say to yourself, when I feel tired and want to fall asleep, then I'll naturally just drift asleep. And then you notice that dark line passing across your face again as they move their hand across your face a 3rd time. 1. And with that 3rd time, it's almost as if the sounds here quieten down, and you say to yourself, when I feel tired and want to fall asleep, then I'll naturally just drift asleep. And you begin to hear the sounds of birds in trees. And as you look around, you find yourself in a meadow on a summer's afternoon. And you notice as you stand up in this meadow that this person is still here with you. And they tell you that wherever you go, I'll go with you. My voice will go with you. It'll take whatever form you're comfortable with. Sometimes you may see me. Other times my voice may take the sound of the wind, may take the rustling of the trees. My voice may be carried in each footstep that you take, but I'll go with you through your journey, deep inside your mind. And they begin to walk, and you begin to follow. And as you follow them, they tell you to walk with intent, to focus entirely on just walking, just letting all of your awareness focus on just the process of walking, being one with the walking. And so you walk along, being absorbed in the process of comfortably following along behind this person. And you notice the rhythm they're walking with. You notice the rhythm of your breathing and your rhythms falling into sync with each other as you drift deeper asleep. And you follow them as they walk through the meadow. And they walk down to a river. And down at the river, they pick up a stick. They tell you to find a stick. And they tell you to place the stick in the water next to their stick. And you're both going to release those sticks at the same time. And then just watch as those sticks travel down that river. And so you both place your sticks in the river and let go, and watch as those sticks travel down the river, bobbing up and down on waves, circling around little eddies that form in the water. Occasionally travel lengthways, other times travelling sideways. As they travel and pick up speed, going further and further down the river. And then the sticks reach some rapids. And you watch as the sticks bob up and down, manage those rapids. And then continue on beyond the rapids. And the person turns to you and says, "Follow me." And they begin to walk along the side of the river. They have their hands behind their back. And they say, "Let's just walk a little deeper into the experience." And they walk along to the rapids. They climb over onto one of the rocks that's in the middle of this rapid part of the river. They sit cross-legged on the rock. And they gesture for you to sit on the other rock. And they look over at you and they say, "It's time now to go even deeper asleep." They say, "Just take a deep breath in, close your eyes, and do a long breath out, making that out breath longer than the in breath." And as that breath out continues, just notice the top of the forehead relaxing. Notice your head relaxing, around the sides of your head relaxing. Relaxing your ears, the back of your head. And then breathing in, and on your next out breath, just noticing the muscles around your cheeks, around your eyes, around your nose, around your jaw, relaxing. And if there's any tension anywhere there, just take a moment to tense that area just for a moment, just safely and gently tensing that area. before letting that relax with the next long out breath. Almost like the jaw is getting heavier and heavier, and the muscles around the face are just getting heavier and heavier. And just saying in your mind, soften, soften, just telling the muscles through your mind and body, just telling yourself, soften. And as the jaw gets heavier and the muscles relax and soften, with an out breath, allow the muscles around the neck, around the throat, to relax, to soften, to feel calm and peace. And then on the next out breath, allowing the muscles around the shoulders to relax. And then on the next out breath, allowing the muscles down both upper arms to relax. Going deeper and deeper with each out breath. And then the muscles down the lower arms to relax. Almost as if they become so heavy, so loose and limp. As if those arms were like wet rags just hanging beside you, so deeply relaxed. And on the next out breath, allowing that relaxation to spread to the hands, to the fingertips, all the way to the tips of your fingers, the thumbs, and then on the next out breath, allowing relaxation to spread through and around the chest and the upper back, and those muscles just softening, relaxing, becoming heavy, loose and limp. And then on the next out breath, allowing that relaxation to spread down to the lower back, to the stomach, to the sides. And those muscles relaxing, softening, so deeply, so comfortably. With the sound of that running water, of the rapids travelling around these stones. With the next out breath, that relaxation spreading down to your buttocks and then down to the upper legs, getting heavier and heavier, softening deeper and deeper. With those muscles softening and relaxing deeply into the legs. And then on the next out breath, allowing the muscles in the lower legs to soften and relax. So deeply, so heavy, so calm, all the way down to your feet. And then with your whole body physically relaxed. They tell you they're just going to reach over a moment and they're just going to touch you gently on the top of the head. And at the point that they touch you on the top of your head, as you breathe in, you can breathe in comfort and deep relaxation. And as you breathe out, you can breathe out any stress, tension, any worries. And you can find that almost becoming a cycle, that you breathe in comfort, calmness, relaxation. You breathe out any stress, tension and worries. And you notice a calming light passing through your body as you do this, from the top of your head, passing down through your body to the tips of your toes. Almost like that healing light is filling your body with peace, calm, and tranquility, until you're totally full of that healing light. And then, with each out-breath, that healing light can begin to seem to almost emit from you, seem to emanate out of you, and spread into the stone beneath you, spread and flow through the river, connect with the world around you, connecting you through your breathing in and out with the wider world. And they guide you through this process of connecting, drifting deeper and more relaxed asleep. And as you drift deeper asleep, seemingly so effortlessly and easily, resting here, being guided, they tell you that now you're physically relaxed and physically prepared to begin to drift deeper asleep. That you may discover from time to time that my voice seems to fade away so much, it's almost like it's disappeared, like you've drifted so deeply asleep, you stop being aware of my voice here as I guide you, as you go even deeper and deeper relaxed. And that's okay. And it may be that my voice disappears for a moment or two at first, and then gradually disappears for longer and longer, until you fully fall asleep comfortably. And I don't know whether that'll take 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 4 minutes, or maybe somewhere in between, to happen automatically, easily and effortlessly. And as you drift asleep, so I'll guide you on an experience of relaxing the mind. And they tell you that to relax your mind, I'd like you to imagine a door in front of you, and you're standing up in front of that door, and you open the door and you step through the door. You turn and close the door behind you, finding yourself in a pitch black room. You turn a light on in this room, and in every direction you look, all you can see is a comfortable light. You can't see the walls on any direction. You can't see the ceiling or the floor. And you can walk in this room, and yet you can't feel the floor beneath your feet. And in this room you discover, after a few steps, that there's no up, down, left, right, forward or backwards. Whatever way you look, everything seems the same. There's no shading, no shadows. And you notice yourself beginning to float in this room, almost like floating in a flotation tank. And as you float, it's almost as if you're relaxing in space, in the most comfortable light. And while you float there, you become very still. And as you become very still, so you have a sense of beginning to see flashes of light, beginning to create something in your mind from the nothing that's there. And those flashes gradually turn into glimpses of pictures, and then occasional sounds and smells. And then you find yourself at the top of the most beautiful garden. You notice there are 10 steps between here and there. And you descend those 10 steps, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, going deeper and deeper, 3, 2, 1, reaching the bottom of the steps and walking deeply into the garden, smelling the flowers, seeing butterflies and bees flying around the different plants, touching the petals of a rose, feeling that waxiness, smelling the rose, walking on that soft grass around the garden, noticing the wide variety of colours of the plants, that slight breeze blowing the plants, blowing the trees, walking through this garden. And as you walk through this garden, you feel drawn to a shed at the back of the garden. And when you open the shed door and walk into the shed, you discover that the other side of that shed door seems to be some kind of strange and secret land. You come out on an inky purple ocean with the most beautiful dark blue sky and sparkling, swirling clouds in the sky. And the most incredible toadstools, the most incredible mushrooms dotted around this land. Mushrooms that are taller than you are. And you realize that many of these mushrooms seem to have windows with lights on. And you walk to one of them, and you see that these are inhabited. This seems to be a village made of mushrooms. And one of the friendly beings comes out of a mushroom. They tell you that they've been waiting for you. They guide you to a campfire surrounded by logs. They sit you on one of the logs. Then the entire village gathers around the campfire. Some of them sit in a location with drums. They begin to beat out a rhythm on the drums. And then others start dancing and chanting around the fire. And they tell you to beat out that rhythm, to feel that rhythm, as if that rhythm's in your heart, in your soul, as if that rhythm is in such a way that you almost can't help but move to the rhythm. And you find your feet wanting to move to the rhythm as you drift deeper asleep. And you know now that this is deep in your mind. Your body fell asleep long ago. You're now just making that journey through to a healing space where you can heal the mind and the body and go through the nightly process of healing and recuperation of the mind, body and spirit, ready to start the next day, feeling so alert and refreshed and revitalized, feeling like you've had the most perfect night's sleep, knowing that when you wake up feeling like you've had the most perfect night's sleep, setting you up just perfectly for the day. And you watch and follow the rhythm and watch that fire dancing. Watch these beings dancing around the fire. Hear that rhythm. See the joy on the faces of all the beings. See the fun that they're having. And then you see that person walk over to you again. And they tell you, it's time to now sleep. And they guide you to a boat that's moored just off the shore. And they say this boat's especially for you, that sleeping in this boat will give you a chance to travel to your sanctuary, where you can drift to any dream. You can sleep deeply and soundly. You can sleep all night long, doing inner healing on your mind, body and spirit. And they guide you onto that boat. You head to the bed on the boat. They leave you alone on that boat. They say good night. You settle down in that bed. You can feel that gentle side-to-side rocking of the boat, reminding you of the hammock, just gently rocking you, relaxed asleep. Almost like a parent rocking a child gently and relaxed asleep. And as you rock and relax asleep, you find yourself drifting to that sanctuary in your mind. You drift and float to that sanctuary in your mind. and discover what that's like. That this is your special place where dreams are made. That only you know every time you come here what you'll see here, what you'll hear here, what you'll do here, and where here will be each time. And here may be somewhere else in the future, but here will always be your sanctuary. Will always be that safe place to know you've reached the point of sleep, to transition to your inner healing processes, to access all your deeper wisdom and knowledge, connecting with the knowledge of the universe around you, being one with the world, while you go on this healing journey of deep and profound sleep, knowing that this is a very private experience for you to have alone, as you drift and float so deeply, so comfortably, so profoundly asleep, knowing this will trigger the most wonderful feeling of awakeness and alertness in the morning, and any time when you wake up, at appropriate times that you want to wake. And so you just drift and float, comfortably and relaxed, asleep.